Now, when you see a number of big financial institutions increasing and their holdings onto a stock, it's always taken as a very good sign to say that, look, this stock is expected to do very, very well. Now, yesterday, apparently there is a rumor of one of the investors or one of the big financial institutions that is investing onto New York City, saying that in quarter two they slightly trimmed their shares onto Neo. You will notice there that obviously there is a slight trimming of shares of Neo from Citi in Q2, but that is very, very insignificant looking at the total number of shares that they own, right? I mean, this is what I suppose is making also more people to panic, but there are others that are also slightly increasing their holdings onto Neo, like BlackRock. BlackRock in Q2, we read that they increased or they acquired 400,000 shares in Q2, which is something that is great, and it shows you that in as much as there are some slight decline on some of the shares in some of the investors, there are those that are increasing their holdings. And how can they not do that? Because look, especially looking at the fundamentals that we currently, well, that we continue seeing onto Neo. I mean, right now we are in Q3, and Onvo L90 was pre-launch in Q3 and officially launched also in Q3 in July. And I can tell you, I'm quite certain that this quarter we are going to see a lot of big financial institutions acquiring shares onto Neo. In fact, the rally, the surging that we saw after the launch of the Onvo L90, it was fueled by a lot of big it was fueled by a lot of people or institutions acquiring Neo shares, which gives me the confidence to say that I'm very quite certain that some of these big financial institutions were also increasing their holdings after the positive sentiment they saw after the Onvo L90. That Onvo L90 gives people hope, gives investors hope, which is why some of them have came and upgraded Neo sentiment. Goldman Sachs increased their sentiment from sell to now neutral. There are those that, like Citi, that have reiterated their overweight or their buy rating with a price target of $8.10. There are those like Morgan Stanley that have upgraded Neo, or the sentiment of Neo is overweight with price target of over $5 per share. I mean, we are seeing a lot of big financial institutions changing their sentiment because of the Onvo L90, because of this product, and I think we are going to see a lot of them continuing to buy these shares of Neo. I mean, if you check the volatility of the Neo shares since that launch, I mean, you and me can agree that it's going down, man. It's going crazy, and a lot of people are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel for Neo. There are a lot of people that are seeing indeed profitability coming for Neo, and something that gives them the courage to think so is because the new CEO did confirm that there is gross profit that they generate from selling the Onvo L90, and that, of course, takes away the concerns, the worry that some of the people had or some of the investors had of saying, is Neo really generating revenues from selling the Onvo L90, which is absolutely great, which is exciting, and it makes me to be really, really bullish onto the new stock. So us seeing these big financial institutions coming to increase their holdings, some trimming in Q2. Of course, it's always good to see more increase than decrease, right? But I can guarantee you now in Q3, like I said, part of the reason that led into the share price of Neo to come from $3.60 to where it is right now, it has to be the big guns that also saw, that are also positive after the launch of the Onvo L90. So I remain long, I remain strong on Neo because I know one thing, and that is blue sky is coming. I know that those that are persevering throughout the headwinds of the share price will most definitely be rewarded with time. Look, it takes me some time to make videos like this, and all I ask from you is to give it a thumbs up so that at least you can be notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. So yeah, man, I just thought I'd quickly come and give you this update. I know share price wise, Neo, it's trading very far off from where we want it to, but this, of course, what we read, what we continue to read, I mean, in as much as obviously Citi, yesterday we read that they cut off their or they trimmed their holdings, so it's not the end of Neo, it's a slight trim, and I'm quite certain that of course, who knows, we might see them adding again this quarter that we are in after the L90 positive response from the Chinese consumers. So I like what I see. Blue sky is coming, long term will win, and share price wise, we will get to the next level. I mean, it's very interesting that some of you guys, after the sharp fall that we see or that we saw yesterday, you already came here and complain about with the NEO share price tanking to say that it's the end of the road. But it is interesting how people tend to, or sometimes we tend to forget the fundamentals that NEO is building, or the fundamentals that surrounds the NEO stock right now as I'm doing this video. We quickly tend to forget that we could, on for L90 could be having a minimum of 50,000 logged orders as I'm doing this video right now. We quickly tend to forget that obviously in August, NEO is not only going to report an all-time high in terms of deliveries, but it might even get to 40,000 deliveries. The base will be 35,000, and yeah, man, I think we should brace ourselves for what is really coming. I remain long, I remain strong on NEO because I believe one thing, and that is blue sky is coming. I believe that those that are persevering throughout the headwinds of the share price will most definitely be rewarded with time. Like this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell because it takes me some time to make videos like this. I know we are you most talking about Onvo these days, because it is the one that is expected to do very well. But then don't also underrate a Firefly. Firefly, you will know that in fact from tomorrow they are starting to sell in Norway and Netherlands. I read today that Firefly is starting test drives in also Australia. We could see, of course, Firefly also starting to sell very well in Australia, and this is something that we look forward to. Australia, in terms of the total sales that they generate for cars, 7% goes to small cars and hatchbacks, and Firefly, I think it will be positioned very well, or it has an opportunity to do very well in Australia, and cross fingers, hopefully we get to the next level there. So yeah, man, I am happy. I'm excited. Blue sky is coming. Long term will win. Those that are persevering throughout the headwinds of the share price will most definitely be rewarded with the time. Look, man, it takes me some time to make videos like this, and all I ask from you is to give it a thumbs up so that at least it can be spread out. If you've not subscribed, I'll ask you to subscribe. I'll ask you to hit the notification bell so that at least you can be notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. Me, I remain long and strong on NEO because I know one thing, and that is blue sky. It is coming. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. That is all from me, and God bless you all.